For me, it was before I did this, it was like I was walking through life. I had, on one hand, I had a ball of lead I had to hold up, and one ball of air, and I had to drag it down underwater. And I was walking through water. This was like my feeling of dealing with this, because I didn't deal with it. I detached from it. I've got an Aquarian moon. It's not difficult to detach, right? So, but I had to come back to it because I had to embody this if I wanted to be authentic.
Game-changing transit is coming up very soon. I'm Ari Moshe Wolf. I'm an evolutionary astrologer. I'm one of 12 passionate and lovely astrologers that are coming together for this 2-day panel. We'll talk about the most pivotal and essential life-changing transits that happen for all of us throughout our entire life. I in particular will be focusing on the Saturn cycles. So check it out and join us, astrologyhub.com/game-changing.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome. I am so very happy that you're here. For those of you who are new to our channel, thank you for joining us. You have just joined a worldwide astrological conversation that's happening here every single week. If you're so inclined, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you are notified every time that we drop a new video here on the channel. For those of you who have been tuning in for some time, welcome back. Thank you for all of your comments, your likes, all the things that you do to support these videos getting sent out to more and more people. I really appreciate you. And I'm so happy that you're here. I'm also extremely happy today to be here with someone that is very special to me, someone that I've never met in person. That's the amazing thing about technology these days, but who literally feels like home. She is one of our inner circle members. She's also a lawyer and a coach and so much more. And she is here today to share her very profound story of transformation with all of you in hopes to inspire you on your path, to give you permission to really step into the most authentic expression of who you are. So it is with great pleasure that I introduce you to Sybille Heyms. Sybille, welcome to the Astrology Hub podcast. I'm so happy you're here.
Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
I am also privy to the information that you are an author, a songwriter, and a singer, a gorgeous singer. Can you tell us about your path? Like, how did you start in this real corporate world and then integrate astrology and human design into what you're doing in a very professional way, and then expand yourself to become this like creative muse? Like, you're just this amazing person. Tell us a little bit about that journey.
I realized at one point that I did abandon my own creative expression. I helped develop other people. And at one point I had a call to write song. I had no idea how to create a song and how to do something like this. And there were a couple of things that helped me on the way. And Astrology Hub was one of them, because when I had this call, I listened to you and your collaboration with Gemini Bread and Eric Deutsch. And they created soul songs out of astrology charts. I stepped in and bought one because I wanted to listen to my song out of my astrology chart. And then I entered the inner circle, and my whole journey in creating song and singing started again because I could dive deep in Astrology Hub and in the inner circle.
Wow. Okay. So tell us about that. So you hear the song of your soul as interpreted by astrologer Gemini Brett and an amazing pianist and composer, Eric Deutsch. And you're inspired. You're hearing this voice saying you need to write songs. You join the inner circle. And then what happens from there?
And then I realized I just could dive deep into astrology and all the cycles. Astrology is a part of my life a long time now. The IC is, for me, it's like an endless well of knowledge. And it's the beauty in it is that I can drink from this well whenever I want to. And and can dive deep into different themes in my pace. And this was the lovely thing that happened when I came into the inner circle. And in my heart, I realized that I'm something like Julia Cameron would call a shadow artist. So I did something in my life where I could do this artistry, but in a backstage, because in my family there were no artists. And I went into this coaching area because there I could engage with other themes like astrology and like Enneagram and like human design. And so when this journey in the inner circle started, it was like when I had my first new moon ceremony. It was a Leo new moon ceremony, and I'm an ascendant Leo. So I shared the first time in 2021, I shared a poem I wrote. Can I read it?
Oh my gosh, of course. And just for everybody listening, when we do our new moon ceremonies, we do it as a meeting in Zoom instead of a webinar. So everybody's on the screen if you want to be. If you want to keep your video off, you do. But it really feels like this, you can really feel a community. And at the end of the ceremonies, I usually invite people to share any reflections that they had, any intentions that they're holding that they want us to hold for them as well. Anything inspiring they want to share with the group. And it's always this like completely moving experience. I particularly remember how powerful this Leo new moon is that Sybille is referring to. And I completely remember you in this poem. So go ahead and share it.
I have a dream to create a safe place for miracles to happen, where feelings can be felt, where animals and nature evoke wholeness and healing, where love and compassion are sacred, where standing up for your values is granted, where people learn to empower themselves and others, where people love to improve and grow, where no is a full sentence and yes is two. Vulnerability can be the birthplace of creativity and trust, where you can be you and I can be me. With us, there can be a new we. What if? What if I was born for this? We are born for this. What if I could be a part of the solution? I can feel the light in my heart, a light that keeps me safe and radiates outwards, warming and healing others too. Remember yourself, your love, your light. I remember the old wisdom and the new song lines which are building. Humanity is on a threshold, and I am proud to be a part of it. Leo rising, Aquarius moon. My heart shines its light, and my roar will be heard. For all who can hear it, I will find the essence of my voice deep down, and my song will encourage myself and others to the next step for humanity. We know that we don't need phones to talk to each other. We can use our natural way to connect. The portals and gates are wide open. Let's be bold and go through. The new song lines for humanity are already there. We just have to have the courage to sing them.
It's just as powerful now as it was then. I remember marveling during that ceremony at how you brought so many things together that other people were saying, that there is this common vision for what's possible in this world, and that so many people are holding different pieces of that puzzle. And then you came in with this poetry that was like, oh my God, I mean, spoke right to the very core of all of us. Was that the first time that you had shared publicly your poetry?
The first time. And I started crying because when I said that I would find my voice deep down inside, and I started crying while I was reading this. And I will never forget it because it was the first time I raised my hand.
And what was your experience of doing that?
It was magical because it was so powerful to just give this intention and this is a statement.
Yeah.
And I love it. So it was like, and it was like foreshadowing what would happen in the next year.
Okay, so tell us more about what happened in the next year. And anybody who follows moon cycles, that's the idea, right? It's
yes.
When we're planting a seed that then has this time to blossom and bloom into what it is that we're seeing, that vision. So tell us what happens over the next 9 months or so.
Yeah, then I just went down this path of finding song, finding my own voice again, and following this call. And I met the brothers Corin. They helped me. I saw them talking about creating song, and I joined them and created my first song. And I recorded, it was fascinating because I recorded my first 2 songs on a Pisces new moon. So it was like this, always these cycles and cycles. And then I was allowed to share it with the inner circle. It was in this journey, it was like finding my divine feminine held by divine masculine. It was not talking gender, right? It's about this inner part of us that has to find its way to receive life, to allow life to flow through us. This was my journey in finding my own song and finding my own embodiment. I've got Venus in Taurus on the MC with my North Node on the MC. So it's like finding this way of embodying this beautiful part of me that is divine feminine and receiving life and allowing life to be expressed through me.
How has that changed your daily reality? Being in touch with your creativity, how are you different?
At the moment I'm totally different because I'm always creating something. It's like in the beginning it was really difficult because I'm in a man's world, and I'm like doing, not being, not receiving all the time. So in the first part, I was always crying. I was driving home and then I started crying because I wasn't used to feel life like this, and to get used to it, to allow, to stay open to receive. And then it changed everything because it's like always creating. I have always ideas and I didn't think that it was me being this creative. It changed my perception of myself.
So you didn't realize that you had this much creativity. You didn't realize you had access to this much creativity before.
No idea that I could sing my own songs.
Not only can she sing songs, but she's glorious. So she shared that poem at the Leo new moon. And then I don't even know how many months later, she posted one of her music videos in the Inner Circle private community. And it's called Venus Rising, right? Venus Rising. Yes. And I watched this video and it was like, I was floored. Sybille has the voice of an angel, and literally there's so much confidence in her delivery. And I was watching her going, but she learned how to do that. Sybille, how are you doing that? That's amazing. You wrote that song, you recorded that song, you made this video, and it was so beautiful and touching and powerful. And so she talked about the brothers Corin, who are these they're literally brothers. I call them the Vikings because to me they're just they look like these Viking men who help people find the song of their soul and write a song and record a song. And so I reached out to Sybille. I was like, how are you doing this? This is amazing. And so she introduced me to them, and they are beautiful, amazing people. If you're ever feeling like you want to sing and you want to give voice to your soul and you're terrified to do it, these are the perfect people to help you along that journey and path. So Sybille, I almost only know you because you raised your hand in the Inner Circle and you said this poem. And I was like, wow, that's incredible. I almost only know you as a creative person. And it's hard for me to imagine you not as a creative person. On almost every Inner Circle ceremony at this point, you share something prolific, it's like poetry is flowing out of you in every moment. And you also recently shared a song that was giving voice to your grief Do you mind explaining to us the process that you went through in that and how astrology helped you with that particular experience as well?
The most important transit of last year, I had a nodal return, and I have my nodes in Taurus and Scorpio. So I realized when I listened, we have these monthly beautiful astrologers who help us through these moon cycles. And I remember Adam Summer talking about the dragon hole and the eclipses. And you remember this too, because we went into the new moon ceremony again, and we did a meditation where we entered our dragon hole. And I entered my dragon hole, and I saw a beautiful red dragon. And she gave me a key with a skull on it, like a skeleton key that opens every door. And then she stepped away and showed me a ring. And then I looked around and I saw all these pictures of people who already died in my life. And I realized, oh, I have to do something to stop carrying them with me. And there were a couple of traumatic experiences in my life that I had to not let go, because let go isn't a thing. When you lose someone via crime or something, you get traumatized, and then you can let it go because it's not solved. It will never be solved because it's not okay. And then you carry them with you. And I realized at this point I had to do something about it. I had to let them be. And with going in there, and I had the intention in this ceremony to create a song, to let them be, to let this person be in this song, to create a safe space for this person to stay. Just to allow this to be, to sing this song, and to help myself to get myself out of it. So it was like I lost a part of me in this, because it was this traumatic experience where you start shaking and then you can't bear it and you leave yourself there shaking. And I realized I need this part of me. I need it back. So I followed the instruction of Adam Summer and I went into my own dragon hole. And I sang a song. I sang myself into my traumatic experience again and did a soul retrieval while I was recording a song. And I started shaking like in this moment. So it was really a body experience in this, because when I started singing, I started shaking. And I shook two times. I sang 2 times, and I always was shaking. And then it got better. So I sang myself out of it, and I sang this experience into the song.
So you're really marrying your understanding of the astrological transits with your creative expression and your healing
Yes.
through, the things that have come up in your life that you're ready to, and like you said, you're never going to let that go, but
No.
you've transformed it, and it's different now. So how is it for you now that you have a place for this person to live in this song? Like how has that freed you or lightened you, or what has it done for you?
For me, it was before I did this, it was like I was walking through life. I had, on one hand, I had a ball of lead I had to hold up, and one ball of air, and I had to drag it down underwater. And I was walking through water. This was like my feeling of dealing with this, because I didn't deal with it. I detached from it. I've got an Aquarian moon. It's not difficult to detach, right? So, but I had to come back to it because I had to embody this if I wanted to be authentic, because then there is no detachment. There's attachment, detachment, or non-attachment. And And this is what I did with this, is heal myself, because I had to come back into this body and allow myself to be with this. This is a part of my life, but I don't have to carry it. And this was what it did. After I sang the song, and after the recording was done, the whole night I couldn't sleep. It wasn't like, oh, I can't sleep, it's bad. It wasn't. I listened to the silence the whole night, and I listened to myself restructuring myself without this weight of this. I had to be loyal. I had to be in this place. So it was from the first moment this was done, and I did express this, and I allowed this to be in a song. It was gone.
Amazing. Amazing. Wow. So Sybille, you have been in our community for a couple of years now. What are the most valuable resources for you? Like, what do you use the most? What do you value the most about being an Inner Circle member?
I love the knowledge that's in there, that I can use it whenever I want. I can dive deep, so I can just experience all this right now when I want. And I don't have to be overwhelmed, or I can do it in my time. And I value this community. I value a lot how you created this community and how you hold space in there. You are such a beacon of beautiful leadership. What you do. This is amazing, because we don't often see humans like you who shine their light on someone and allowing them to shine. Because if you have this kind of leadership, you have this kind of community. And this is what I really value, because I would never have shared in a group of hundreds of people, because it is a great group. But the energy is so beautiful that you can show yourself. And I really, really appreciate that.
Sybille, thank you. What an incredible compliment and reflection. I appreciate that so much. You mentioned knowledge being valuable to you. I mean, there's a lot of information out there. There's a lot. If you Google astrology, or you go to YouTube or TikTok or Instagram or any of the places, there's no shortage of astrological information. How do you feel like what you get here is different than just, doing your own little search online?
When I'm in the Inner Circle, I have these monthly guides that have their own arc they are creating around the new moon or the moon cycle they have got. And it's beautiful to just see all these different approaches to astrology, to see even the house series was beautiful, because it's not like, oh, you have this, and this. It was so beautiful because it was different standpoints, different views on the house systems. And this is really inspiring when you listen to different astrologers having different approaches to their themes. And there are so beautiful people in there. It's like I love the storytelling of Christopher Renstrom, and I love Levine, and there are so many of them you can just listen to. I once bought a workshop with Gemini Bread and the sacred astronomy. I can't do this in 6 weeks. It was not possible, because Gemini Bread is so, you sit there and say, what? And then you have a 6-week course, but I don't have to do this in 6 weeks.
Right.
I would be stressed out if I had to.
Yes.
And I can come later and can do it bit by bit. And if not, I can take years for it. And it's so lovely to listen to them. You got it all in your Inner Circle, so I just can join whenever I want.
I mean, my guess is you're a pretty busy woman. Yeah. I mean, you have a lot going on. So
Yes.
what would you say is the, for someone out there that's like, God, this sounds great, but I'm really busy and I don't know if I'm going to have enough time for it to be valuable to me, for it to be valuable enough. What would you say to someone like that?
This is an understatement that this is valuable. It is. And you can do it whenever you want and whenever you're ready and you have time to listen to something in there to just experience yourself in living astrology. And this is the next part that changed in my life is I allow myself to live astrology now. And this is a different thing than just studying it. Just allowing these circles to come up and to see, oh, this is my eclipse. And to see, okay, this is my chance. And not predicting or what would happen. I have no idea what happens. We never, nobody knows. But when you say, oh, this is my chance to go exactly there, because there is my planet, and there is my theme, and there is my trauma, there is my healing, whatever. And to go there and to have all these beautiful humans there that help you to understand all these cycles. This is amazing.
I love how you say that, Sybille. And it's so true. It's like we have this birth chart, and in it are all these different transits that we'll experience in our life. And they are, each one of them, a very unique opportunity. And some of them only come around once in a lifetime. And so I love what you're saying, just, taking the energetic signature of it and going, this is my eclipse. This is my chance to go into the dragon hole and see what I'm holding on to, see what's holding me back, see how I can transform it within myself so that I can grow through this time. And I love that because so many times people, they think the astrology is happening to us. This eclipse is hitting my chart, or it's hitting this part of me, and it's, well, yes, it is happening and it is happening in your chart. And yet you are making a choice. And sometimes that choice is to avoid it. Sometimes that choice is to meet it. Sometimes that choice is to really step up to whatever that invitation is. So I love what you just said. And that you said you're living astrology now. You're not just studying astrology. Can you tell us a little bit more about what you mean by that distinction? Because I can imagine hearing that and going, ooh, like that sounds great, but like, what does that look like? What does that look like on a daily basis to live astrology?
When you follow the I'm a moon person, so it was following the moon and having all these beautiful, amazing humans to explain all the moon cycles and the different places the moon is in. It's one thing to just allow yourself to be in this place and to have a Virgo full moon. So to see where is this falling in my chart? What does it to me? And what does it mean when I say this is my eclipse? And what can I do to just close a cycle? Maybe this is a really big cycle and it was really my eclipse that someone could have told me, oh, this took a person away from my life, but it changed me so deeply that I wouldn't stand here right now if this wouldn't have happened. I wouldn't be the person I am right now because nothing would have done this to me that I was able and willing to transform. This was my chance of transforming because this traumatized me and I had to develop myself. I had to go to this place. I wouldn't have. If this wouldn't have happened to me, I wouldn't have. I wouldn't stay here right now and reading poems. I wouldn't.
It's amazing. Yeah. I mean, I can tell you've really come full circle with that experience, and that astrology has informed you. You were able to see that, ooh, this eclipse is corresponding to that time in my life. And so there's a thread there that I can follow. And that thread informs where I always talk about the cosmic curriculum. And it's exactly what I mean. Like, where is the cosmic curriculum for me right now? What is the spotlight? If I'm on the stage of life, what area of my life is the spotlight shining on where I have the most opportunity to become more of who I came here to become?
Yeah.
Right.
And
well, I love everything you're sharing. And I know too that for some people, it's like, God, I don't know enough about my chart yet, or I've been studying for so long. Like, is there anything really in here for me that I can't just get somewhere else? What do you say to the people that are relatively new to astrology who are like, I don't know, like, will I be able to figure out that it's my eclipse, or will I be able to figure out where the full moon's falling in my chart? What would you say to them?
I would say just experience it and allow yourself to live this, and to not to try to understand all that is in your chart, because you don't. And I don't. uh, But sometimes you just look at it and say, oh, this is what happened. This is what these couple of years were about. And you can live forwards, but you can reflect backwards. So we can see the cycles when we look back, and then we can sometimes find the chances in the cycles. But I found the awe in this. Even it's not about, oh, this is trine this and this is square this. See this, how this is lived. This is so much deeper than just, oh, this is square my sun. It's just, and when you see, oh, this were the last 20 years, and this cracked this whole thing open. To see when I'm on my cross, I have got a fixed cross in my chart. Aquarius moon, ascendant Leo, and North Node, South Node, and so this is a cross. And my Venus is there too, and Uranus is square my sun. So there's a lot of tension in there. And to see what all these beautiful transits do, and that they are giving us the chance to crack this open like a cross. And then comes Saturn along and cracks one leg away. And Pluto comes and says, heal yourself. And you get the chance to transform. And this is astrology alive. And when you're allowed to live this in a community, to share with others that can understand you, can support you, can do something like a meditation to go into the dragon hole. Well, who did this? We did, right?
We did. Yeah, we did. Yes.
And this was my moment where I thought, oh, I have to change the songs. I have to do this right now. And this was like an epiphany to me. Say, I have to do this right now because this is my eclipse. And I have to jump in there and I get myself back because this is the best chance I have.
Wow.
And this made it possible. I wouldn't have come to this conclusion if I just have listened to some astrologers out there.
Wow.
It was this experience.
Yes.
And then I saw, I have to change songs.
That's always been such a big part of the inner circle that has been core to the mission of it from the very beginning, is that it marries mind and heart, left brain, right brain, yin and yang. Like it's not just intellectual, and it's not just heart. It's not just the left brain, but it's not just the right. I mean, it's truly seeking a balance for us in our experience of astrology, because that's when it really has the power to transform. That's when it really has the power to become something that is inextricable from the way that you live your life every day. And it's it's powerful that way. Sybille, are you going to be sharing a song with us here today?
I would love to share with you today is a song I created out of my own astrology, this entanglement in this grand cross and these different forces that are tugging on, push and pull in our own structure, which we experience in all these energies. And this song I share with you today is this deep wish we hold when we look at our chart, is that we know there are things that are true, and we know we try and error through our life, and we hope that there is a deeper meaning, that there is a purpose, there is something about me that is special. We want to know this when we look at our charts. And this is a special moment when everyone is born. And this is this spark that comes up when this is you and this is me. And this song is about this beautiful wheel of life, this wheel of fortune we are in. And the question always comes, oh, I know this is true, but is there something more about me? I wish for myself that there is something about me. And we all wish this. And there is a part in you will find it that is inspired by you, because we have to find an answer. It's like, this is true, and what about this? And coming to a conclusion. And this is the beautiful part in it. You inspired a part of the song.
Wow.
Because there had to be a conclusion for this. And what is the answer if I want to have something special about me, and what's and
Oh my
this
God.
was inspired by you. You will know it when you listen to it.
Amazing. Wow, Sybille. This is such a beautiful moment to get to listen to your song together and share it with our community. Thank you for doing this. And I love everything you just said. So many times when you look up things like oppositions or tensions in a chart, it's easy to get scared or to think that there's things that are bad or wrong. And so to have you expressing something like this in a song, and to just, that is the beauty of astrology. I think that's why when you meet astrologers or people that love astrology, real astrology, not the kind that puts you into boxes and stereotypes you and makes you feel small, but the real astrology that shows you your potential and shows you the truth of who you are, and confirms that you matter and that there is a reason why you're here. That's why you see these people so sparkly, like Sybille. It's because it is that, oh my God, yes, there is a point. Wow, there is a point. And just that alone is so, it gives meaning to our existence. And that's the biggest gift that astrology can provide. Although I keep discovering the biggest gift because it just keeps giving gifts.
Always giving gifts. And it's so beautiful, this as above, so below.
Yes.
But I love what Henry Zeltzer said. And he said, as furthest out, so deepest within. And this is a lovely thing too, to find this deepest in there. And I'm honored to celebrate this song today because you are the first playing it.
Oh, God, lucky us. Amazing.
Yes.
Okay, so Sybille, take it away.
When the wheel is turning, I see where's the light, befriending, not knowing, a spark in the night. What's up and what's drowning, what's left and what's right. Oh, well, what I'm sowing when I go far and fear the seed that I hide. Say there is something more to me. Say there is a below for me. Say that you life is holding me in love. I think you are right, and nothing is wrong, and I'm gonna fly. If I start to try, take on all the growing, all at stake is a lie. Aware what I'm loving, I dare to shape new worlds for me. Say there is something more to me. Say there is a belong for me. Say that you know that life is loving me, all of me. Say you will belong to me. Say you feel like home to me. Say that you know that life has got a plan for me. Chop your wood, carry water, precious body you brought here. Heart of heart to outgrow fear. Lame and go from here. I say there is something more to you. I say there is I belong for you. I say now.
Sybille, amazing again. You do it again.
I did it again.
You did it again. It's so incredible to hear the astrology in your words and to have it expressed so creatively and beautifully. And I've said many times recently, I feel there is a renaissance on the verge of happening, and astrology being at the core and center of it, just inspiring so much art. And already in this series we've been doing with Inner Circle members, we didn't do this on purpose, but the artistry that is coming out of all of you, it's like, wow. It's blowing me away. So thank you so much for sharing that with us, with me, with this community, and for being such a beautiful beacon of what's possible when we're aligned with our path and facing, what's ahead with courage and with eyes wide open and with that willingness to just like roll up your sleeves and dig in and really live it. So thank you, Sybille. It's been such a pleasure to be here with you today.
Thank you for celebrating with me and letting me be a part of this.
Our pleasure.
Thank you.
All right. For those of you who are interested in joining Sybille and myself and the other people, the astrologers that you met during the house series, the other members of the Inner Circle that you've met on this podcast, for those of you who are interested in joining our star family, we would love to have you in the Inner Circle. You can go to astrologyhub.com/IC23. Sybille, I love you so much. Thank you for being here on the podcast. Thank you for sharing your beautiful song, your beautiful voice with us, and your beautiful story with us. We are honored. All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody. Take care. Thanks for being a part of our community. And thank you, as always, for making astrology a part of your life. We'll catch you on the next episode. Every now and then, there's a planetary alignment that changes everything. We call these game changers because they're fateful moments when one phase of life ends and another one begins. I know for me, my Saturn return was definitely one of those moments. And we all rode the life-changing transits of 2020 and 2021 together. At Astrology Hub, we've found that the more you can anticipate, interpret correctly, and prepare for these moments, the more you can turn something that feels like it's happening to you into something that's happening for you. And we have some big game-changing transits that we will be experiencing this year. To learn about these big collective transits and the personal life-changing transits that we all go through, we're gathering our 12 upcoming Inner Circle Astrologer Guides for a free live panel event. You'll hear from Sam Reynolds, Georgia Stathis, Gemini Brett, Ari Moshe, and more. Day 1 will go deep into collective transits like Saturn's move into Pisces and Pluto's move into Aquarius and how these could impact the world. Day 2, we'll explore life-changing personal transits like the infamous Saturn return, Uranus oppositions, aka the midlife crisis, and more. If you're interested in joining us, go to astrologyhub.com/change and reserve your free spot now. That's astrologyhub.com/change. We can't wait to see you soon.